Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's episode is gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be a little bit deeper, but I promise you it's gonna hit you on a real level. And if you stick around to the end, I believe it's gonna be very encouraging for you. So if you're not quite where you wanna be in life, I'm making this video for you. I want you to know that just because you're not in the final position that you wanna be at in life right now, doesn't mean that you're necessarily wasting your time. You may be in a job that you don't like or working for a boss that you absolutely hate and you feel like you're just spinning your wheels, but I promise there is purpose to all of this. If you know me, then you know I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ and the Bible. And in the Bible, it says that God works all things together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So basically what that means is that if we love God, we're called by him to do his work. And no matter what happens in our life, whether it be bad situations, something happens in our life, God can use those things for our good. Now, although he doesn't cause evil to happen in our life, he will turn it around for the good of those who love him. So if you love God, you can be rest assured that no matter what happens in your life, no matter what situation you're at right now, that he's gonna work it out for your good in some way, shape, or form. You may not be where you want to be in life right now, but I promise you that there's something valuable that you could be learning right now that is going to benefit you in the future, that's going to set you up for success. And I'm going to prove it to you by sharing with you this story. So when I was 23, I got involved in a company called Aflac. They're an insurance sales company, and I was an insurance salesman. That was what I was hired on to do. And if you know anything about sales, then you know that the fear of rejection is something that can hold you back significantly, because going out and pitching a product or going up to a business owner and telling them what you have to offer is kind of a nerve-wracking experience. If you ever saw that challenge video where I was knocking on the guy's door, it's just an awkward situation to be asking someone if you can provide for them a service. Even if that service is very beneficial, it's just an awkward situation. And normally as human beings, we want to avoid those situations because we fear people's rejection, because naturally our biology tells us, hey, don't get rejected by society, because our ancestors, if they got rejected by society, it was a death sentence. We need community to thrive. And so even now, although we have what we need and grocery stores are a thing now, and we don't have to go out and hunt and kill for our food, we still need society to thrive. And so naturally, I wanted to avoid those situations. But here's the thing. The first motivator was the fear of rejection, not wanting people to dislike me or disown me or outcast me or anything like that. The second motivator was that I wanted to start a family eventually and very soon. I was 23, but I did want to get married very soon. I'd been dating my high school sweetheart for years now. I think it was over 5 years at that point, and I wanted to get married and start a family. And so anytime the fear of rejection rose up, I always had to use this other motivation, which was providing for my family and starting a family, to override that fear and step out in faith, knowing that, hey, I could get rejected, but it's okay because I need to accomplish this goal, and this is more important. Now, the reason I share this with you guys is because now I'm not in insurance sales. I'm actually in ministry. I'm a youth pastor right now. And you may be thinking, like, what does insurance sales have anything to do with ministering to people? Well, let me tell you what it has to do with that. So in my ministry with people, here's the thing. Not everyone is going to accept the story of Jesus Christ. When you guys hear me say his name, maybe that turns you off, or maybe you're like, oh, this is awesome. I like that he's talking about Jesus. You could be on either side of the fence, but not everybody is going to like that message because it is a little bit offensive. Think about it. Whenever we read the Bible, it tells us how much of a sinner we are and how much we need Jesus. So in my previous job, I was able to work that muscle where I am now not really afraid to share with people that Jesus is the Son of God and that Jesus is the way. It doesn't affect me as much as it could have if I hadn't learned this skill of not fearing people's rejection. One day I was actually in a Marshall store, and me and my wife were walking around, and my wife was pregnant. We were literally a day away from having our baby. In fact, I think we were going that very next night to the hospital, and she was getting induced into labor. So we're shopping for some clothes, some last minute items, and I'm in the store just by myself looking at clothes, and I'm overhearing a group of people talking. Now keep in mind, it's like past 10 o'clock. This store, I think, stays open till 11. And this group of people are talking. It's a weekend, and this guy's talking to two girls, and he's like, hey, my friend just told me that he has an extra ecstasy pill that he's not going to be using tonight, and he wants to sell it to me for 20 bucks. I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy it. And he's telling them this in conversation, and I'm not trying to listen to them, but they were so close and so loud that I couldn't really help but listen to what was going on. And for some reason, I just couldn't get it out of my head that this guy was going to go do some drugs and make some bad decisions that very night, and I could do something to prevent that. And so God really spoke to me in that moment, and he was like, hey, you need to reach out to this kid. If this was your son and he was about to make this decision, wouldn't you want someone who knew me to talk to him and maybe to tell him how much I love him and how much I want to be in a relationship with him, and that this isn't really the path that he needs to be going down? And so although my heart was pumping, although I didn't want to do it, it was the last thing I wanted to do, because again, that fear of rejection is still going to be there, but we have to learn how to overcome it, right? And so because God taught me how to overcome that fear, I was able to actually walk up to that guy later on in the night. I walked straight up to him. I said, "Hey man, my name is Ben, and I feel like God just wanted me to talk to you a little bit about my personal testimony. Is it cool if we just talk for a quick second?" And he was very on guard. He was like, okay, yeah. So I was like, "Hey man, I heard that you were going to be potentially buying some drugs tonight," which, you know, that's totally fine. If you want to do that, go for it. But I'm here to tell you that there's actually a better way to live life, because I used to live kind of like you're living. I used to love alcohol. I used to go to parties. I used to try to numb the pain of my life because I didn't really like the situation of life that I was in. And so I started talking to him about how God freed me from basically alcoholism and wanting to fill my life with alcohol, with girls, and with all kinds of things that I was tempted with, that I was trying to drown the pain of life with. And I told him, listen, I would always go to sleep feeling empty at the end of every night. And if you've ever been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I was talking to him and letting him know, hey, there's a better way. And God wants a relationship with you, and that relationship is through Jesus Christ. And guys, right there, I was able to pray with him. And it's not like he accepted Christ right there, but I was able to plant the seed and talk to this guy about Jesus, about a relationship with God. And it was only because I had worked a sales job in Aflac, and God taught me not to fear the rejection of men. Because if I'm offering something that is good, that is going to benefit them, even if they don't like it, it's still worth going up to them and sharing with them about it. So my encouragement, all that to say this, guys, my encouragement for you is, no matter what situation, no matter what job position, even if you don't have a job, there is something right now that God can be teaching you that can bring you into the next season of life and help you succeed in what you're truly called to do. So my message for you guys is to persevere in the hard times. Keep taking it day by day. Keep growing. Keep being consistent in whatever position you're in right now. Whether it's a decent position or whether it's not even a job yet, God's giving you skills right now that he wants you to be faithful with. And if we are faithful with those skills, he's going to use them for his glory later on. He's going to use them to greatly benefit you and help you succeed. But you have to put in the work now. And sometimes that's a little bit hard to do when you're not right where you want to be in life. But if you're not developing that skill, if you're not being faithful with what you're given right now, you could be missing out on something that he's calling you to do in the future. I hope this message encourages you guys. And if you have any questions about God in general or Jesus, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I love DMing you guys and just talking about anything. So hit me up there and I would love to talk to you about that. If you enjoyed this type of video, guys, this type of encouragement, would you throw a like on it so that I know that I can make more videos like this? And on top of that, if you haven't subscribed already and you like this type of content, here's a reminder to hit that little button right there. Throw the bell notification on. I would highly appreciate it, and you would get to see all the rest of my videos that are going to be coming out. So with that being said, guys, I'm Ben. Garcia in the next one.